Pleasure seeing you. I'll speak at 1,000 miles an hour for you if you need.
Sure, absolutely.
It's not like I don't do it anyway.
Tell us a little bit about Eclipse as he's dealing with the loss of Lorna and the baby and that kind of separation.
He's having a hideous time. He's having a hideous time. He's someone that's dictated by passion predominantly anyway. He's a logical person. He tries to be, but due to his passion and his emotions, he can, those lines can get blurred. His view can get skewed, and he can be dictated by it. He also is someone that has to deal with probably one of the biggest emotional beatings. Caitlin has to deal with her son missing. He's got to deal with the love of his life and his baby and the ideological differences and being so like you're going to see some erratic, jaded up Marcos. He doesn't sacrifice his ethics. That's the reason why he's on that side of the equation in the first place. He doesn't agree with what the inner circle think. He thinks it's short-sighted, it's narrow-minded, it's not pragmatic, it's not thinking about the future, it's actually just trying to take it back and two wrongs don't make a right. So he's still got some logic in there, but there's no way that he wouldn't be able, that he would be inhuman if he didn't deal with this difficultly and if he didn't feel the need to explode and didn't feel the need to try and get it back.
So are we going to see any more of the cartel come back into it? Would that cross his mind?
You might. You're going to see a flashback today at the panel of him back in Colombia and why maybe he has such an issue with losing his child in relation to his family life. I'd like there to be more cartel. I think it adds a really fun dynamic to the show. I like that there's also, the fact that we're doing scenes in another dialect, another language is fascinating. I think that's really fun. So hopefully is the answer to that. Hopefully.
Will we see any X-Men references in this season? Or
it would be weird if there weren't. I thought we would have made a mistake if there weren't any. We definitely opened up more towards the... There'll always be Easter eggs. We'll always maintain that. But I think actually we've broadened, as much as we're trying to delve deeper into the characters and the relationships that we set up, because we'll never be happy with how deep they were. We always want to sink into it. There's so much to get through. We really want to get under there. We don't want to sit anywhere on the surface. We're trying to dig as deeply as we can. There is a depth to the emotions and the relationships we're going through, but also we're broadening our universe to include more of the X-Men things that you guys are interested in. So we do have the Morlocks, we have the Purifiers, great characters like Urg. Urg is, yes, Urg, the Morlock, yes, who can absorb energy and then fires it out of his crazy eye. Who's played beautifully as well by a lovely man called Michael. We've got the Purifiers who are really fun because there's that extremist militant view that we don't have yet. So we've got a lot more of the X-Men than we did last year. I think we focused on the characters. Now we can show you more of the X-Men world.
We're gonna have to finish there. I'm sorry, guys.
Wow.
Just one quick question.
I'm sorry. Next table.
I'm sorry, guys.
Appreciate it.
Sorry.
Buddy.
Have a good one. Enjoy. Come to the panel. See you soon. Keep making questionable choices as Marcos. He wasn't thinking straight with that bat signal, was he? Yeah, he's not the most erratic guy. No, I think, he's... Some characters are based more in pragmatism than others. I think some people are more logical and some actually are less hard done by. I think Eclipse is a passionate person and actually has so many awful things happen to him that he's probably quite dictated by passion more so than anything else. He's trying to keep it together. And it wasn't the smartest of choices to do that thing, but actually it made Lorna aware that he was there, and you'll see the repercussions of what he did soon, and he'll learn from it. But people make mistakes, and actually he's not only human, he's not superhuman. He can't control it all the time. He's not aware of the mother of his child being alive. He doesn't know if his baby's alive. He wasn't there for the birth. He didn't get a choice in naming it. He's been left behind. And that's something that I can't imagine any man going through without losing his mind, especially someone that cares and loves as much as he does and feels as strong as he does. So there might be a few times where he gets a bit erratic, but actually I think people will be on his side of that. I vouch for him as a person, and the things that Lorna has done to him is just disgraceful. So there's a lot of fun to be had.
So speaking of the baby,
yes.
So Eclipse seems to struggle a lot with like his morality, although not as much as like some of the other characters in the show. Are we going to see that? Are we going to see like his boundaries pushed even more this season because of the baby?
His background, did you say?
His boundaries.
Yeah, his boundaries. Yeah, if he doesn't push the boundaries already, he is going to be dealing with that a lot. And actually, I'm sorry, I've completely blanked. You are going to see him dealing with his boundaries a lot more. What you're going to witness is him. He's not faltering in his ethical beliefs that two wrongs don't make a right. You shouldn't be as extremist and proactive and actually abrasive as the Inner Circle is. He doesn't agree with them whatsoever, and that, I guess, is the difference between him and Polaris, is that ideological issue. Like, do two wrongs make a right? Do you take back what's rightfully yours? That's not. He doesn't agree with that. He's not. He considers that to be actually short-sighted, a bit narrow-minded. It's not pragmatic. It's not a pragmatic approach. Bombing people, murdering people, destroying banks, or whatever it is that you end up doing. Yes, that might be used somehow getting your own back, but tit for tats only end up in upscaling the problem. They only make them larger. Eclipse, I think, is pretty angry at Polaris for basically setting the world on fire and then worried that people might get burned. And you go like, well, we could have discussed this before you lit the match. And so he is going to deal with those boundaries, not because of his ethical problem, but because the love that he has for the people that he cares about the most on the opposite side of that ethical. So does he sacrifice those ethics for the things that he loves? Or does he torture himself, maintain his ethics, and lose all the things that he cares about? And that's the boundary push that he pushed
So,
I'm sorry.
Okay. So, Sean, would you classify you and Polaris's relationship and your relationship as, say, like an Xavier Magneto kind of relationship?
There have been those comparisons. I have my legs, so I guess I can walk. There's some differences to the two. No, ideologically, yes, they could. Saved. There are some comparisons, yeah, and I would say that there are. You'd have to ask Matt, my boss back there. But no, I guess if you are to look at their ideologies, it starts to make sense. Obviously, she has her father and has a similar mentality to him, and I think Eclipse is has followed along a similar path that Xavier did, and actually that Martin Luther and Malcolm did, which is what they were based on. So you could say that. I wouldn't go as far as saying it myself. I'd be privileged to have that be a comparison, but I